The Autobots and Decepticons have been at war for millions of years in the Civil War, right, on their home planet of Cybertron. We're telling the last bit of that Civil War before they ultimately decide to leave, and they don't even know where they're going to go. Our campaigns, because there are two, are broken apart into an Autobot and Decepticon campaign. They're completely distinct from each other, but connected, in that the Decepticon campaign is a prequel to the Autobot campaign. But make no mistake, you're not traipsing over the same levels, you're not redoing the same objectives, it's all brand new and original. One of the things we had to do is allow you to play whichever campaign you wanted from the get-go. So if you started up, even though the Decepticon campaign's a prequel, you can absolutely play the Autobot campaign all the way through before ever even touching the Decepticon campaign. It's your choice. Where we started with was core gameplay fundamentals, and then layered Transformers on top of that. It wasn't kind of the other way around. We really had to get the game feeling right, we had to get the controls tight, and then add the Transformer elements into that. We do not have a cover system. What we have is transformation. It's fundamentally very different than any shooter you've ever played because you have access to a vehicle that can move really fast at any time. So what that did is it altered the way that you think about combat, the strategies that you take. And so you can use weapon-based strategies. Every character has a unique set of abilities that they take in, so you can use those abilities in your strategies. Weapons are different than robot forms. You can do different things. You have different abilities that you can use. And then, of course, layer all that in with transformation, where I can get to the other side of the battlefield in a half a second, that I can flank an enemy really quickly, that I can gain altitude as a jet, transform, fall, shoot. I can do all sorts of cool stuff. It's very different than any other shooter because you have that vehicle at all times. What we do is we give you a choice of 3 characters to play in every level because we are 3-player co-op. You can play co-op, drop in, drop out co-op at any time. So there's always 3 characters to choose from. And the characters that we allow you to choose from make for an interesting strategic mix within the context of that level. So jets are fundamentally different than any of the ground-based vehicles. So there are dedicated jet levels where you get to choose between 3 jets. Jets are not mixed up with the other vehicles because they're just fundamentally so very different. But the gameplay that we could craft and create around them was so special that we actually made unique levels for jets. Our designs are rooted pretty squarely in that Generation 1 G1 cartoon from the 80s. But we took the spirit of those and modernized them up. We kept colors and simple shapes the same, but had to respin it in a way that felt current. The great thing about Transformers, and the real challenge, is that there are hundreds of fan favorite Transformers. There's a lot of them. I couldn't possibly include every one in the game. But what we did do is we worked with Hasbro on what the most popular Transformers were and get those guys on screen and in the game. And then, you know, as I said, it's kind of about what the game is telling us, what the game says it needs. So then what we did is we filled in some characters who may be a little less well known but fit the gameplay needs that we had. Those guys got added. So a great example of that is Warpath, who is a tank who I personally really like. He's an Autobot tank. I really wanted to get an Autobot tank in there, but there aren't a lot of Autobot tanks. And so he's a lesser known guy, but we found a home for him because we needed that to fit in within the gameplay styles that we wanted. For me, I think this is a game I've been waiting since I was a kid to play. I think what we're going to do is hit that nostalgic chord, but also give you a really solid fundamental game. So if you're a fan from Generation 1, I think you're going to be really pleased to get back into those childhood memories. If you don't know anything about Transformers, or you've seen the movies but don't know much about their backstory, we take you through all that, and I think we're going to make a lot of Transformers converts out of this because it's a good game that just happens to be Transformers. I think that there are reasons to play single player and really enjoy it. I think the story is going to be a lot of fun for people, and it will take you some time to chew through it. There are reasons to play levels multiple times. There are unlockables for competing in a campaign, and then still being a little Spartan about the details, but multiplayer is going to be a huge draw and a huge reason to keep coming back and playing more and more. This summer you're going to get to play Transformers War for Cybertron, 360, PS3, and PC.